United States Supreme Court dealing Trump a major blow today, siding with a House committee seeking his tax returns. CNN's senior Supreme Court analyst, Joan Biskupic, has more information for us. So, Joan, what does this ruling mean?
This has been going on for more than 3 years, Wolf. The House Ways and Means Committee has been trying to obtain former President Trump's tax returns as part of a look at whether the IRS audits of presidential records, how it works, should it be revised? And the committee had argued that it has a legitimate legislative purpose on this. And Trump had countered it, saying this is just a witch hunt, it's just an effort to embarrass him. He had lost in lower courts, and the former president had made a last-ditch effort to the U.S. Supreme Court. And today, in a very brief two-sentence denial, said, no, we're not going to intervene. The lower court decision stand, and what this means now is that the House Ways and Means Committee, currently run by Democrats, currently for a short period,
until January.
Exactly, should be able to obtain from the IRS the former president's tax returns. And the committee chairman said today that they were going to move forward and try to continue their exploration of exactly what's in his tax returns and whether the IRS audit program needs any kind of a revision.
And it looked like it was pretty unanimous, the Supreme Court decision.
That's an excellent question, because on paper, on what we got from the Supreme Court, there were no recorded dissents. But Wolf, my experience is that sometimes there might be dissents behind the scenes and they just don't want to go public with it. But if they didn't go public with it, all we've got is a flat-out rejection of the former president.
Even the Supreme Court justices appointed by Trump.
Exactly right.
Or at least we're silent on this right now.
That's exactly right,
All right,
Wolf.
Joan, thank you very, very much. Let's get some more analysis right now. Joining us, defense attorney Shan Wu and the state attorney for Palm Beach County in Florida, Dave Aronberg. Paula Reed is still back with us as well. Shan, let me begin with this face-off between the Justice Department and the former president's legal team. Based on what we heard today, do you expect federal prosecutors will be successful in getting rid of the so-called special master reviewing the documents recovered from Mar-a-Lago?
Judging from what we've heard, and as Paul was referencing the questions from the panel, it seems like that is a possibility. I mean, I would applaud that decision. I think it is very dangerous for the precedent of letting criminal defendants interpose a civil type of mechanism to basically slow down the criminal prosecution. So I think that may happen given the direction that the Court of Appeals questions seem to be going in, Wolf.
Well, Paula, how significant would a Justice Department victory be for the special counsel, the new special counsel, Jack Smith?
It'd be incredibly significant, Wolf, because that would allow them to move forward with this investigation more swiftly. And really, time is of the essence. You heard the Attorney General on Friday when he announced the appointment of Jack Smith as special counsel. He was assuring people that this appointment would not slow this down. There are concerns about how long these investigations are going to drag out, especially given the 2024 presidential election cycle. So if they can remove this review process, that would allow them to move more quickly. Now, I've also talked to someone Jack Smith used to work for at the Justice Department. He said, look, this is not a guy that dawdles. He doesn't sit on things. He does move swiftly, and this would really be a win for him.
Dave Aronberg, let's turn to this decision from the United States Supreme Court today to allow the House of Representatives, this committee in the House, to review former President Trump's tax returns. Trump's legal team has continuously fought to keep his tax returns secret. Just how significant of a loss is this for the former president?
Well, it's a big loss because the Trump legal strategy has always been delay, delay, delay. I think they knew they were going to lose, but they wanted to draw it out long enough until the Republicans could get control of Congress. While they're 6 weeks short, the Democrats are now going to be able to get these tax returns and possibly hand them over to DOJ if there is some criminal evidence there. You know, the federal law is pretty clear here. The Ways and Means Committee has the authority to see any taxpayer's documents, and Congress has broad lawmaking and oversight authority. So this was always going to go the government's way. It was just a question of when. And, you know, in the end, this is only an issue because Trump is the first president in modern history to refuse to turn over his taxes to the American public. He promised to do so. He never did. So, Wolf, somewhere in Tallahassee, Ron DeSantis is smiling.
Good point. You know, Shan, what information can this House committee glean from these tax documents, and what impact might this have on the former president's various outstanding legal fights?
I think they can glean a lot from it. Less clear exactly what we as the public will get to see from it. But I think one issue is that he's bragged about the tax avoidance strategies, and that may be very damning evidence of if what's revealed corroborates the idea that he's exaggerated, he's inflated things, as we're taking a look in New York State right now at whether there was tax avoidance strategies being used by the company. So it's very valuable evidence. That's why people generally don't like to have their tax returns revealed, because there's a lot of valuable evidence that can be mined from that. I mean, with Trump, I mean, the seeking of his tax returns has been like the holy grail in Trump world. I mean, he's fought so hard against it. And I think one interesting point, to Dave's point too, is by fighting so hard on every single issue, it creates the illusion sometimes that a setback is a great victory. This is just Congress doing what it's supposed to do that he managed to drag out for such a long time. Where it goes from here really does remain to be seen.
We'll find out fairly soon. Paula, as you know, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham today completed his appearance before the Georgia special grand jury investigating efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. How great a threat does this case pose to Trump himself?
Well, I've asked the former president's attorneys that exact question, Wolf, and they've told me that they believe that the investigation in Fulton County looking into whether the former president and his associates tried to interfere in the 2020 presidential election, that is highly likely that he could potentially be charged there. They think of all the investigations, that is the one that arguably they're in the immediate future the most concerned about. Now, they would also tell you that they don't think the case will ultimately stick and there wouldn't be a conviction if charges are actually brought. But the senator is just the most recent in a line of high-profile witnesses, including the governor of Georgia, White House aides who have appeared just in the past few weeks. So that investigation is active, ongoing, and even his own attorneys say, yes, they are concerned about what's going on in Fulton County.
Yeah, very significant legal developments unfolding today. Guys, thank you very, very much.